Morning, Jibril. How are you, man?
My brother, how you doing? How you doing? I don't know if I can still say it, but Happy New Year. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, no, thank you, thank you. And I want you to start, Jibril, with telling folks what you're running for, because
Yeah,
I
my
know
name
you're
is
on the trail, you're on the stump. So I'll let you take it.
thank you, Roberto. Again, it's a pleasure to be on. My name is Jibreel Jalloh. I'm running for the 59 Assembly District to bring a new generation of leadership to Southeast Brooklyn. We need new, bold leadership. Our healthcare system is under attack. Foreclosures are rising, food prices are up. We need a leadership that's going to go up to Albany and bring the resources we need in Southeast Brooklyn to help fix flooding, to help end gun violence, and to help protect healthcare. And I'm so honored to be a candidate of the people. We just dropped our numbers yesterday for our filing, so excited to get a little bit into that. But yeah, I'm running for to represent the neighborhoods in Southeast Brooklyn in the 59 Assembly District.
Jibril, what is the current assembly member not doing that prompted you to run?
Oh man, where do I
Meaning
begin?
there's someone there now, right? I mean, Assembly
Yeah.
Member Jamie Williams. So what is the rhyme or reason that you said, you know what, I think I can do a better job because the assembly member is not doing X?
Well, look, it really starts with my story. I'm the son of immigrants from Sierra Leone, West Africa, who came here for the American dream. My dad is a taxi driver, my mom is a nurse, and they're working class immigrants who were able to buy a house and raise three kids. Roberto, the sad reality is that that's not possible today. I got married in July. My wife and I are looking for a home in the neighborhood I was born and raised in, and we can't find one and afford it. We're family planning, and we can't even consider taking on another huge expense. But just take a second and think about that. We've come to a point in the society where folks have to consider cost and price with something as joyful and important as growing and raising a family. So those are some real issues, and that's what I'm running on. I'm first and foremost running on the issues and my track record. Roberto, we met in government. I had a number of years in government. I was an urban fellow in the first deputy mayor's office with Dean Forehand. I worked on the mayor's executive team, Mayor Bill de Blasio, under the leadership of Emma Wolf. I worked in public advocate Jamani Williams' office as a Brooklyn Borough advocate. And I came back home after those years in government and started a nonprofit that's focused on grassroots organizing. And we won 2 years ago $1.6 million in the city budget to get a cure violence program to drive down shootings. We've been fighting to bring the ferry to all part of all part of Brooklyn, and we've been training dozens and dozens of young leaders in the science and art of organizing. And we was even acknowledged by the Obama Foundation. So I'm running on the issues and the record of organize that I've done. In terms of the incumbent, all due respect, she's been in there 10 years. And honestly, I haven't seen a signature proposal. And over the past couple years, she's taken a very concerning shift rightward. She endorsed Curtis Sewa in the mayoral uh, general election around September. She stood outside his campaign office when he was going to open it. And look, the reality is this is a Democratic district, and we need leaders who are going to stay true to Democratic values and not align themselves with the Republican Party, who on Capitol Hill is cutting healthcare. The state is facing about a $3 billion hole in Medicaid cuts and cuts to our healthcare, and premiums are going to be shooting up. And we need a fighter in Albany that's not going to play politics, that's going to actually focus on delivering for the folks here. So, 10 years, we haven't seen much in my opinion. And it's very concerning that instead of spending your time delivering for the people, you're working on delivering votes for Curtis Silva, and that's not right.
Jibril, talk about how much money have you raised? I know you said you wanted to talk about that, but give me the number. Show me the money.
Right. One big part of, running an election is raising resources. And, we just in just over 2 months of launching our campaign raised $59,000, 59 for the 59. And we looked at the numbers, still early. We just got the numbers last night. We have exceeded our thresholds for matching funds. We have over about 100 people in district We have with expected matching funds, $156,000. But here's the thing that really stood out, Roberto. We've actually outpaced the current 10-year incumbent almost 2 to 1 in fundraising. So we have about 59K, and we checked her numbers real quick. Again, it was late last night. We seen that she raised about 30K. So we are almost doubling the pace. And when you look at the breadth of our support, we have 458 unique donors. We seen to our count, she had 162. So think about that, 450 to 162 in terms of unique donors. In terms of contribution, we have 532 contributions. We have much more recurring donors. She has 167. So 532 to 167. So we are running a real grassroots campaign. We have $0 in PAC money. She actually, has a number of PACs who have jumped in, and we want to be accountable to the people, not special interests in Albany. Albany is ran by special interests, and I'm not looking to be that type of candidate. So I'm raising all of my funds from the people, from the people. So when I go to, if I have the honor of going to Albany on their behalf, that's the only folks that are on my mind and in my pocket.
Bro, do you have the support of the Brooklyn Democratic Party? Or have you met with them and sort of are they there? Are they endorsing yet? When are they meeting? And the reason why I would assume you would get the support of the county party because she endorsed a Republican in the mayoral race. So I want to know. I mean, would you? I would say that automatically gets you the Brooklyn Democratic Party's
Yeah,
endorsement.
South Brooklyn is a bit funky, man. Look, I've spoken to the chair of the Democratic Party, Assembly Member Rodney Bashat. I'm going to keep those confidential conversations between her and I.
As you
Uh,
should, right?
and then, we don't officially have their support, but my focus is on the support of the people. Knocking doors, being at train stops, being at bus stops, going directly to the people, because that's who's ultimately going to decide. The sad reality is when, the incumbent launched her campaign, the chair of the Republican Kings County Democratic Club was there. The chair of the conservative Kings County party was there. So we have someone here who's being openly supported by the Republican chair of the Kings County party, whose goal is to expand his conference, is to take out Democrats. So let's really think about that. You're running a Democratic primary and you're having the support openly of someone whose goal it is to take out your colleagues in Albany and grow his conference. We have to think, is that a winning coalition that you're building that's focusing on delivering for the people, or is that just playing politics? So whether or not, county jumps in, I feel very strong and confident. The years of organizing I've been doing, I served on a community board, which virtually covers every corner of this district, and have some real deep relationships. And now the money shows that we are outpacing the 10-year incumbent almost 2 to 1 in dollar for dollar, and we have a breadth of support exceeding almost times the number of individual donors and no corporate PAC money. So the money's talking, and I believe in June the people will speak as well.
So, bro, who's on? Talk about your campaign team. Who's running your shop? The campaign manager, your comms, your consultants. Who's helping you hopefully achieve your goal potentially?
So we're gonna roll that out though very soon publicly. Who's on the team? What I will say, I've been super blessed to have a lot of informal advisors. As I said, I worked in Mayor Bill de Blasio's executive office, so I had a lot of ties to that awesome team. Many of those folks are actually heading back into government because they did such a good job, rolling out universal pre-K and 3K and all of that. Um, but right now, the team that we currently have in terms of the finance side, we have Paul Henderson, who runs Raven Strategies, which is a consulting firm. He's the official treasurer, and he made sure I hit my call time hours, and that's how we see the numbers. We have Ali Najmi, who's the lawyer of our campaign, who folks know that he's a fighter. We're gonna work very hard to get on the ballot. We know that's a big way that the machine looks to keep their power and suppress primaries, is to knock people off the ballot. So I believe with Ali Najmi, super knowledgeable about that process. And I'll keep it there for now. But what I would say, we will be rolling out the official team soon, as we look to ramp up. Once now that we got the numbers in, we're gonna move strongly more on our policy and letting folks know who's running.
Jibril, what percentage of the district is registered Republican in that assembly district? What approximately? Give me a guesstimate.
Last I checked, registered Democrats was about 50,000 and registered Republicans was about 10,000. Look, the sad reality is
It's 5-1.
5-1. But we know enthusiasm takes a big role, who actually comes out. But the sad reality, I don't know if it's, to me it's sad. The 10-year incumbent endorsed someone who got 11% in the district. Let's think about that. 89% of the voters that came out in the general went the other way from someone who said was the best choice for the people. So you got to really think about how out of touch can you be that the person you endorse got 11% in your district. Are you really in touch? And that person is not even a member of your party, your proclaimed party. So we do have the numbers on our side, but I am running the Democratic primary. Up until today, the information that I have is that the incumbent is also running as a Democrat, apparently. So my focus right now is on June 23rd. I've been all across the district. There's parts of the district that's more red. I've been every single zip code, every single neighborhood in the district. So I'm not running a one neighborhood race. We're running a wide race, speaking to working class people about the issues that matter to them, which is affordability, which is rising property tax, which is, just rising costs is what I'm hearing on the doors, and something we need to address at the state level.
What are the top 3 priorities if you get elected
Yeah, for me, so
for the district?
yeah, one priority for me is ending gun violence. There's a lot of talk right now about the cost of living, but I strongly believe we have to take a stronger look at the cost of life. We unfortunately, in the northeast part of the northeast part of the district, which is Canarsie, face rates of gun violence that is unacceptable. Even one young person dying in gun violence is unacceptable, and it's 100% preventable. Number one, we have way too many guns. Number two, the demand for guns. Folks need access to economic liberation, to jobs, to stronger quality after school programs. So that's going to be a priority for me when I'm in Albany, to really focus on how we can get the investments necessary to make sure no one in our communities fall victim to gun violence, from Garrison Beach to Canarsie. I would say flooding is another one. Look, we was hit hard by Sandy 13 years ago, and we haven't seen the significant investment that we need. And we know just a couple months ago, we lost 2 New Yorkers to flooding. So it's literally a deadly issue. And we know we have a number of basement apartments and whatnot. So that's something that we need to have the state invest more in terms of infrastructure in our community. Look, 2 generations ago, this country put a person on the moon. We can't figure out how to fix our infrastructure to make sure water drains efficiently and effectively, is unacceptable. So that's another one. And then I would also say protecting healthcare. We cannot have folks in Albany drop the ball here. This is also another life and death issue. And with the federal government dropping the ball and cutting healthcare to give cuts to billionaires, we need the state to step up. We have tens of billions of dollars in reserves. We need to look to tap into that. We need to explore ways to raise more revenue. We know in this country we have presidents, not kings. And I know one state can't take the load of what the federal government provides, but in the short term, until 2028, we need to look at tapping into reserves and filling the gap in terms of our Medicaid laws. So those are 3 off the top: ending gun violence, fixing flooding, and protecting healthcare.
Are you a member of the Thomas Jefferson Democratic Club, Jibril?
No, I'm not. Not a part of TJ Club.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people are. Look, this is not a personal race. This is a race about the people. Willing to talk to anybody.
But I mean, it's a long-standing Democratic club in the district, right? And a lot of the elected class have come out of that club, right?
That's
Even
true.
even public advocate Jomani Williams is a member of the Thomas Jefferson Club.
That's true. And as you know,
It's a popular club, and he's a progressive as they come, right? But it's It's a sort of, long-term clubhouse in that part of the world, right?
That's true. That is true. Yes, the TJ Club is storied, but my focus is on the people, not political clubs, and I'm looking to represent the wide
Any
breadth of this community.
any endorsements you want to mention, Jabril? Or those are going to come later?
Yeah, so we'll roll that out. We will roll those out later. We expect to get a number of endorsements, especially with these strong fundraising numbers. I'm in talks with unions right now. I'm in talks with electeds right now. But when we started this campaign, we knew from day one that we're not the establishment candidate. We're not a 10-year incumbent. We need to go straight to the people to raise money and to get our message out. And that's what we've done. But now we're going to look to talk to some unions and talk to some electeds that now that they see we got some money in the bank and we're getting some buzz.
As a first-time candidate, Jabril, what were you not prepared for? What was harder? What didn't you would expect about running for office? I think people need to understand that it's not a walk in the park. What is some of this that surprised you about being a candidate? You're like, wow, this is more difficult than what I thought. Is it fundraising? Is it
Yeah,
door knocking? Is it
man.
phone banking? What is sort of like, hey, I wish it's not
Yeah.
as easy as I thought.
I could give a good and a bad, but before I go, I just want to shout out the Muslim Democratic Club of New York and the Africans for Political Progress who came out publicly and endorsed early on. So
Okay, so you have endorsements. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But we want to release the full
And the
syllabus.
and the Muslim. Let me ask you this: have you met with the DSA?
No, I haven't met with the DSA.
Are you interested in their endorsement and or their support?
Yeah, so right now I'm not seeking DSA's endorsement. I'm focused on a lot of local uh, orgs. I've talked to a lot of block associations. I've talked to merchant
Okay,
associations.
okay.
I've talked to civics. So trying to keep it local in that sense. In terms of what surprised me, I would say, so look, I can't say that I didn't expect to come out, and I think everybody would say this, right? With some day one endorsements for some key folks, given my years in government and my years of on the ground work. But I found out the hard way that politics doesn't work like that. People want to see what you can do. You can talk a big game, but people want to see the numbers, people want to see the activity. So that's one thing that surprised me. I think after a decade of having some strong relationships, I thought I was going to be able to come out the gate with day one endorsements. But as we know, this last mayor already showed us endorsements don't win elections. Endorsements do not win elections. It's talking to the people and it's kind of raising the money. So that's one thing that surprised me. Because it is different. When you're running for office, people start to move a little different. I've seen that firsthand. And nothing negative. It's not personal, but it made me understand
Yeah,
that.
people want to know that you're serious.
Exactly, exactly. I would say another thing that maybe surprised me is the goodwill of people you never met before. So the quote unquote kind of challenge negative is like you build relationships over 10 years and you think people are gonna ride or die and just trust the work of your record. But no, people want to see it's a different field. I can run a nonprofit, I worked in government, people know I can do that. They wanted to see if I can, raise money and get out there. But in terms of the positive is the support from people you never met. I have a max donor. I talked with this brother for about 5 minutes, and he gave me the max. And I just had met him through a contact that I had. And things like that happen in different ways of people just meeting with me and supporting me just off of the energy of the need for new generation and just seeing the vision of needing something new. And that's really was uplifting me. It's just the folks that I've never met not one day in my life, just having a short convo and sharing a vision and them seeing my energy and my authenticity and them jumping in, I think was a big surprise on the positive side. So, and having longtime friends like you, Roberto, who I knew since City Hall. I don't know if I booked a blue room for you a couple times, who were willing to share the platform. I seen your roster, man. You got some big names on this podcast. So I want to thank you too for also giving this race a look. Because let's be honest, is a gubernatorial election, is the midterms in the federal level. A race in Southeast Brooklyn doesn't get that much attention sometimes, especially with everything going on nationally and worldwide. So I just want to also thank you for helping to
But
get my.
I want to say this is a personal anecdote. I'm going to sort of editorialize before we wrap it up. I'll tell you something. You never. I think that this is a lesson in humility for everyone, in life, and it's a major life lesson. I spoke to the current mayor,
Mm.
November 26, 2025.
Wow.
And he was probably polling. He did what you're doing. He was probably polling at 1 point.
Mm.
And we met in the story, total gentleman, great conversation, didn't dodge any questions, straightforward to the point. And a year to the date.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
It was a different story. You never, one of the things I've learned about this business, and this is not just about you, is never count anybody out. I remember Bill de Blasio was never going to be mayor either. Shook up the world,
Right. Yeah.
Look, man, you give everybody, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
And so I want to just continue, just say, hey, man, good luck to you. Keep doing what you're doing. And this is what you want to do, man. Onward, upward. Anything you want to say? Last point you want to make, Jibreel?
Yeah, just want to say for folks hearing this more recently, you can go to JibreelJalloh.com, JIBREELJALLOH.com to support this campaign, to donate. We're still pushing hard. We want to raise as much money as we can, as early as we can, so I can spend the rest of my time talking to voters as soon as we hit our fundraising goal. And number 2, follow me on social media at Jibreel Jalloh, and I would appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Roberto. Thank you, everybody, and
all the best. But I want to let you get back to business. All right, man. Talk soon.
Thank you, my brother. Peace.
All right.